Right now we're going to our chicken distributor, Bobo Chicken, which is in East Williamsburg. These are older chickens actually, and we're gonna get a much more delicious stock by using an older chicken as opposed to a younger chicken. They breed their chickens specifically for the Asian market. Asian markets values the dark meat, leg and thigh. So I've got to break these chickens down immediately, get them into our steam kettle so we can keep on schedule today with our soup production. We've got to make pho ga chicken stock today for us. That's going to take about 5 to 6 hours. So we're doing 15 birds today, and we're going to get 15 gallons of this beautiful yellow chicken stock. Stock is definitely the lifeblood in the restaurant. Not only does it go into our soups, but sometimes it finds its way into sauces. So this is our steam kettle. This is where all of our stock production happens in our kitchen. Now I'm going to take the chickens and put them in here right now. Pho is a dish that I think is the gateway for a lot of people in getting introduced to Vietnamese food. We're not doing a very traditional pho. It's a pho that's been inspired by our travels in Hanoi. So you look at it right now, it just looks like kind of cloudy and murky. What I need to do throughout this entire process is never let this machine hit a rolling boil. If it hits a rolling boil, I'm going to end up getting a very cloudy stock. For us in this situation, I want something that looks yellow and very clear. Close it up. To finish out the process, we add our aromatics now, ginger and onion. All of this is going to get prepped, getting ready to finish out our pho ga. This is actually a very untraditional way of making pho. The traditional way, the way that I was brought up and a lot of people teach it, they actually take the step here of roasting the onion and ginger. My personal opinion is the roasting aspect doesn't necessarily yield a product that I'm particularly happy with. It makes the color of the stock a little bit darker than I would prefer. I like something light and blonde because I know the haters online will be like, you didn't roast the ginger, you didn't roast the onion. That's how my mom makes it. Well, I'm not trying to make it the way your mom makes it. I'm trying to make it the way that we enjoy here at TRÁNG while still honoring the dish. We're gonna bring this all up, we're gonna put it in, and we're gonna let it cook for probably another hour. Now we're 3 or 4 hours into the process. You can see the colors change quite a bit. That gold layer that we're looking for, you're starting to see that up top. So we'll add in the onion and ginger. We'll add in the fish sauce, and then we'll add in our salt and sugar. And that's it. We'll let this run for another hour. Richie is just poaching off some rice noodles in anticipation for service. We source these beautiful noodles from Kana Noodles, and it's the best noodle. I will stand behind that 110%. So we kind of par cook it right now because once service starts, between delivery and dine-in, we have to be able to keep up with the pace. Our chicken stock is ready to get pulled now. First, we have to strain out all the bones, and then we're going to release it from here and then pass it through a filter to further clarify the stock. We now need to rapidly cool it from a good food safety practices. We need to make sure that this rapidly cools so that there's no bacteria growth or anything. At 7 a.m. in the morning, this is one of the first tasks that our prep team has to handle day in and day out, and it's making the mix for our jaya, our fried rice paper rolls. We have pork here that we grind in-house. He's just trying to do his best to wick away as much of the moisture as he can. If we don't get all the moisture out, these rolls, when they fry, they're gonna want to explode because all the water inside is gonna be trapped. It's gonna convert to steam, and it's gonna want to find its way out. We like to use whole shrimp for this. A lot of times you'll find in other restaurants, they'll grind up the shrimp to like kind of a paste, but I really want to get whole pieces of shrimp in my rice paper roll. Andres is going to take our dry ingredients and he's going to hydrate them with some hot water. And then we're going to add this all and combine it and mix it all up. First off, this is the rice paper that we're going to use for our fried rice paper rolls. The triangle shape lends itself to just having the right amount of rice paper needed so we can roll it and not have excessive amounts of rice paper in the roll. And making these is very similar to when I was growing up as a kid. This is something that I would be doing with my parents. While this process is scaled up for a restaurant, this reminds me a lot of home. So we have a scoop to get consistent sizing, and he's now going to go through and place the meat mix on there. And then we'll come back and then we'll actually roll them. It's going to start with edges. It's important to get clean, sharp lines. And then you're going to roll from the bottom over the mix, and it just repeats over and over. This is one of our most popular dishes on our menu. We sell hundreds of these per day. Finished 42 here. We've got about 300 more to go, so we're gonna have to do this entire process again another 5 to 6 times. So it gets par fried, and then for the pickup when a guest orders it, we'll fry it at a higher temperature, which will complete the cooking process inside, but then also make the outside very crispy. So this is from Greenpoint Fish.
What do we got?
We got the hake filets in, and this is a process that Gerald created for us.
We're going to marinate it, and we will smoke it in banana leaves to try to mimic the flavor of grilling it over charcoal. It gets marinated in a northern trinity of galongo, mom tom, which is the fermented shrimp paste, mea, which is a fermented rice. Kind of like shio koji, but in Vietnam, it's more of a sour fermented rice as opposed to a savory fermented rice. So this is our hake fillet. Back in the day, they used to serve it sizzling on a pan with hot charcoals underneath, thus giving it that smoky flavor. So to mimic that, we're going to smoke it in banana leaves. So I'll move it around. You'll see it gets super nice and smoky. I'll add my fish, trap smoke, and then I'll kill the heat. And I'll just let it bathe in the smoke. And I'll repeat this process 2 to 3 times.
So the wrap and roll is a very common way that we eat in Vietnamese cuisine. For us, it's something on a sizzling plate, which creates a lot of excitement in the dining room, which we like. So we have 3 different options for that. We have a fish one, we have a mushroom one with queso, and we have one with lamb. So we're just getting our delivery of mushrooms for the day. This is from Smallhold Farms. We have these beautiful yellow oyster mushrooms, which we get, blue oyster ones as well. And then the other mushroom that we get is going to be, are these beautiful king trumpets. Yeah, and this will go into our sizzling mushroom plate, which is a wrap and roll dish as well. So we have to process all these mushrooms. We kind of create like a mushroom medley here with the king trumpet, blue oyster, and the yellow oyster. We're gonna work on some dishes as we continue to tweak our menu. We have a noodle dish that was a big success for us previously. So we're thinking of doing one with lobster today. So we're gonna plate up one with these alive lobster.
We're breaking down this lobster for our seafood and garlic noodles, a very popular dish. We used to serve it with squid, shrimp, a little bit of clams at one point, and now we're gonna try and make a nice large format whole lobster dish.
We're not a top-down structure where I'm telling everyone we're gonna cook this, we're gonna cook that. I feel like we're more successful when I set everyone up for success. And when I say that, it's like identifying the things that they're strong at and leveraging those skill sets. Jimmy with his strong background in cooking pasta. There's no reason he can't take those experiences as an Italian chef and apply them here in a Vietnamese context.
Just gonna try to drop one piece at a time, make sure they don't touch or stick. All right, so while that's working, we'll start working the garlic noodles. So we've done this with a bunch of different types of noodles. Classically, it's with, a lo mein style egg noodle. Because, I like to have fun, change it up. I'm going with some just pure semolina pasta, no egg.
At the end of the day, it's not a Vietnamese noodle. It's more of like, how can we cook noodles well with Vietnamese ingredients? And I think that's where this dish really shows Jimmy's technique.
So I've just added a little bit of our pho gas stock. Drop my compound butter based on butter, miso, garlic. It's a very deep garlicky flavor. It's rich, it's buttery. You get that luscious seafood, but I really want that garlic to stand out. I grew up eating a ton of garlic. In my household, everybody had the stinky breath. So, one of my favorite flavors, one of my favorite ingredients to cook with, and anytime that I see a recipe that has garlic in it, my natural instinct is just add more. We're always getting requests for group dining options, parties, so it behooves us to have these kind of large format dishes in our back pocket.
Well, I already know this is gonna taste delicious, just seeing the lobster and how well he cooked it. Obviously, finding the right size plate. We don't really have plates big enough to accommodate for a whole lobster, so that's something I already see already.
As I was plating this up, I realized I hate how I plated this.
Yeah, it's too big for this entire plate. So, if we wanted to introduce this as a large format option, we're gonna need to get some new plates for this, but we'll taste it and see. We've always used like a round noodle. This kind of a flat noodle. I feel like it obviously carries the sauce a lot better than the round noodle.
Sure,
so.
and do we send this with a lobster cracker? Do we send it with wet naps because people are eating? I don't know about you guys, but I've almost only ever ate lobster with my hands. But you have to consider the whole process of serving the dish, the guest experience. That's what hospitality is. It's not just about serving food. It's about creating an experience that's enjoyable, that people are going to pay for.
So yeah, this is our base for our BÁNH NG.
So we use rice paper in a multitude of different ways. We have the grilled rice paper. And more or less, it kind of looks like a pizza and we call it a pizza, but it's rice paper that's been grilled and treated in a certain way for it to be a rigid structure.
A lot of rice paper that actually gets sourced in the United States is like very heavy with tapioca, so it like melts and it doesn't really hold up as well. Our solution to that is just taking 2 sheets of rice paper, fusing them with a little bit of water, and then putting them on the grill. And what you end up with is something that's like pretty sturdy and almost like cracker-like that can hold up when you start putting ingredients on top of it. So right now I'm just like making a bunch of these just so I have them ready to go before the start of service.
And then the final way you see rice paper is as a salad, the TRÁNG. So that is rice paper strips. We top that with fried rice paper strips as well. So in this case, you get to appreciate the chewiness of rice paper. As the rice paper sits, it gets a little bit chewier and softer. One of the things that I like to do here is get everyone involved in the R&D process. What we're doing is called the Binge. And this is a dish that's normally savory that we would eat for the Lunar New Year, but we thought we would try stuffing it with bananas and actually turning it into dessert.
So I have a mold, and then I have banana leaves that I've cut into the size of the molds. The banana leaves have to fit exactly in the mold. The idea is this is gonna help the rice stay inside. This rice that's been soaking, I'm just gonna put some in there. These are plantains, like the baby ones, so they're sweet, and I like the texture better. Then I'm gonna fill the rest of it with rice.
We have a 20 top in a couple weeks, and I think Morgan and I thought this might be a good dessert for us to try for this 20 top.
So I'm folding the leaves, that's fully sealed. This is the complicated part. So I'm gonna fold triangles.
Right, so Marga, she has a Filipino background cooking. She provides that context and experience of the deep knowledge of Filipino cuisine.
So if you look at it right now, it's a little loose. So this is how it looks when it's cooked. We cook it overnight. So I'm gonna open it up for you guys. This is also why I like folding it the way that I do. It's like opening a present. You can eat it like this, but we like to deep fry it. So this is how it looks when it's deep fried. It's really like crunchy on the outside.
Whoa, colors change quite a bit.
Those are the bananas, right?
Those are the bananas, yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like sausages.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome how the bananas turn purple. They look like little hot dogs.
I like it.
I like it too.
It's a mouthful, but I like the flavor of it.
I wish this was crispier, first of all. Feels like too much banana.
Yeah.
Banana to rice ratio is maybe could be a little bit skewed.
It weighed the rice down a little too much.
But I thought this was a very successful kind of R&D task.
I like it.
I think it's something that we're going to be proud to try out and serve in next week. We have a 20 top, so this is going to be an easy pickup for us. Fry 2 of these off and cut them into 9 pieces and we're done. So, it's 5:15 now. Everybody's trying to get ready for service. Right now, the line cooks are just getting their station set up and they have to do plate ups. We're gonna get a lamb dish. This is a normal routine for us, and that's our opportunity to check our mise en place. I'll start with the lamb dish. This lamb dish is part of a wrap and roll series. I'm gonna eat it right now just to double check everything. So we're all good today. So mise check's done, plate ups are done. These are all good for today. So feeling confident as we head into service that we'll be cooking consistently. So kitchen notes today, we have a hard count on curry. We're limited on bread. We sold a lot more banh mi this morning than we realized. So tonight we're gonna start with a 6 count of curry. If we actually sell all 6, you come back to chef and get an update. We might be able to release a couple more. Let's have a good service, y'all.
All day, Humby, to go. We are working. Hi, Chazol. One of them is for Boone. Hi, one hit.
Hi, Chazol.
More than ever, we need a good time these days. So hopefully showing people a great experience, great service. But from a food perspective, the stuff that I'm interested in, hopefully we expose them to some new things. Like going back to the rice paper. Oh, hopefully they put 2 and 2 together. Wow, I got rice paper in a lot of different ways here. I didn't really think about rice paper from that perspective. So just showing that there's a lot of variety here as opposed to just the common way that a lot of other restaurants are doing it. And hopefully it opens their eyes that there's more to Vietnamese food than pho and banh mi, and they'll start to dig deeper. I'm just hoping that I get people more excited about Vietnamese food and wanting to try other things.